A brilliant way that you can prove somebody wrong in business is the following tactic I will show you that we applied in real life with my business team at one point, and this is going to be pretty entertaining and also pretty mind-blowing, this example. But before I tell you the story, I'll just remind you that it's a good skill in life and a fine art to know when you're in the wrong and accept when you're wrong about something. But if you know you're right, if you're certain, then there's a way to prove it in some cases. And this story is a perfect example of that. So here's the deal. We had one client one day who showed up at our racetrack and he wanted to rent a race bike. And then as per protocol, we asked him, are you a beginner or an expert? He said he's a beginner. And so we offered him a beginner bike that was cheap and told him, you're going to have more fun on this bike, and the expensive race bike is almost twice the price, and you're probably going to crash it if you're a beginner because it's hard to ride it. But he was so determined to ride the race bike. So after a while, we allowed him to do it anyway. You see, already here we showed to this guy that we actually rather wanted him to take the cheaper bike and make less money because we valued his safety higher than an increase in revenue. But he didn't even consider that. So he was just like in his own mind and he thought he was cool and this and that. Sure enough, on the first lap, he crashed and damaged the bike. And then we told him, hey, you have to pay $10 extra for those grips, which we already told him this before and it happened exactly as we told him. Still, he had the nerve to say that we were trying to scam him. And then we were like, oh my God, what is going on here? And then, well, we decided let's prove a point to this guy and just prove that we didn't try to scam him. So we were professional and civilized about how to handle it, but he could sense it was getting serious. So he just decided after a while to just pay the normal fee plus $10. And then we took all the money and we gave it as a tip to his taxi driver for waiting patiently during the whole process. So we proved to him without a sliver of doubt that we were in the right and he was in the wrong. And that's a tactic you can use sometimes. By having something to lose, sometimes you can prove a point that you are 100% genuine in your good intentions. And the taxi driver, he was happy. We were pretty happy because we proved our point. If you zoom out and analyze what actually happened here is you can conclude that this person, he had a mental blind spot. Sometimes things can happen right in front of your face, but you're not running on all cylinders up here. And so it's almost as if you're blind to what's happening right in front of you.
And in the exact same way, there are still people in the general public that have mental blind spots to the information I put on the screen here now. Incredibly important information with literally hundreds of thousands of our best medical professionals in the world, led by our best professors from the best universities in the world, who stood up and spoke against how it was handled in 2020 by you-know-who. And so some people with these mental financial blind spots, they end up trusting some billionaire who is invested in BioNTech in 2019, who is funding the you-know-who benefits from all this. They would rather trust him than academic level health professionals. If some of this is new to you, please pause and screenshot the text I put on the screen and share it with your friends.
So anyways, thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one. Have a great weekend.